My oasis is in my kayak. I just find that if I want to get away from things, I jump in the boat and I go paddling. Right now we're in Tofino, British Columbia. So this is a small village on the west coast of Vancouver Island, right on the open Pacific. As a paddler, this place is phenomenal because we have the full range of paddling conditions. Right here in the harbor, it's relatively calm. Then there are some narrow passages where you get some stronger currents, so it's like a river. We can go out and paddle, and it's like playing in a river. And then we have the open coast on the outside where you're in swell. You're dealing with surf. When you get to the beaches, you're dealing with, depending on the size of the swell, you get big surf, small surf. And with the kayak that I use, I can paddle in all those conditions, and I have the skill to do it, and I love the variety of paddling. I grew up in Toronto in an area called the Beach. So it's a big sand beach. I remember as a kid playing in the ravine, and I mean, I was out the door and I was up in the woods as soon as I could every morning. I remember very distinctly in grade 2, we studied the New Channel First Nations. They were called Nootka Indians back then. And we saw pictures of their long houses and the totem poles and these big canoes and the big sandy beaches. And for some reason, that really clicked with me. And I came out west when I was about 17. I guess I was seeking adventure and the mountains and the ocean. I took a kayaking course and my life has never looked back. I started kayaking at the age of about 19, and I immediately just knew this was it for me. I just loved it. Ironically, gave me access to those very beaches that the Nuu-Chah-Nulth First Nations live on. And now I'm living in Nuu-Chah-Nulth territory and exploring all these beautiful wild places that they have looked after for all these years. I run a small kayak company with my partner, Bonnie Glambeck, and we train guides, we train kayakers, and we take out complete beginners and show them our little spots, our favorite spots. I love paddling. That's why I teach kayaking. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't teach it. And, you know, I often ask myself, I mean, I've been doing it for almost 30 years, and I'll jump in a boat and I'll go out paddling, and something new happens every time. Something I have never seen. Every time I go out, my mind is blown. One of the nice things about kayaking is that you're paddling at the intersection of the water, the land, and the air. So I tend to get as close to shore as I can. I like to get right into every nook and cranny. And that's where you see all the life. You've got you might see a mink running down, you might see an otter, you might see a bear. I've seen bears on the shore. You got all the birds up in the trees, you got all the birds on the ocean. So I'm mostly just looking. And my mind wanders. I think about everything. It's freedom. If I don't get in a kayak for a week, I start going nuts. So I need to get out in that kayak several times a week just to keep me grounded.